you might feel that the session seems to be one-way communication and pre-recorded kind of way. But again, you just have to bear with us and ensure that you are noting down everything. Also, one more thing, in most of the companies, like 90 to 95%, you won't be having the leverage of calculator, neither the online calculator nor a physical calculator. So whatever calculations that you are doing at your end, ensure that you are doing it manually. You can take 2-3 minutes at the start, but ensure that you are doing every calculation manually, right? So I think we are good to go now. Uh, Entire aptitude in general is divided into two sections, you can say. One is your quant, which I can say maths till 10th level. And one section is your logical reasoning. So the first three sessions will be covering quant, and in the last two sessions, we shall be covering logical reasoning, right? So let's begin. So in this first session, we shall be covering these topics. The first is going to be the heaviest session. So we'll be covering average, we'll be covering ratio proportion, percentages, profit and loss, SI and CI. I hope you people have your notepad and pen ready, and ideally you should note down things.
Hi Shan, can you please explain like why we need this quantitative aptitude session and how it is going to help? I'm sorry, I missed the first few minutes due to some
No
problem.
issues, no issues. Yeah, you have every right to ask. So basically, whether we talk about aptitude in campus placements or MBA entrances or government entrances, aptitude is majorly required because what they check is, see, it's 10th level kind of things. Most of the things are can be solved by a 8th or ninth grade student as well. But the difference lies in the fact that when you people were in 10th grade, you must have appeared in your board examination. And there might be scenarios that I was not able to get enough marks or something, but very rarely it happens that I was not able to complete the paper in time. Now what happens here is the questions will not be of that level, but the major issue you people might face at the start is can not even able to read the paper entirely. So what they check basically through this is कि in a certain time zone, like if a student or if a person is given 30 seconds, 40 seconds for a question, he has to do a lot of tasks. He has to analyze the situation. He should be good with decision making. He has to calculate things which involves a bit of mathematics, involves a bit of rationality. He has to solve that, choose the correct option, and then move to the next question. So their point of or their line of thinking is if a person is able to do this in a stipulated time, he will be able to take decisions in his actual life as well, which will be require certain skills which are tested by aptitude. So that is why whether you go to any particular field, like as I mentioned, even in MTech, people who pursue MTech for GATE, there is certain aptitude weightage. You go to foreign universities, GRE, GMAT, some almost every place has kind of aptitude weightage, you can say.
So aptitude test will be there in interview.
That will be the first filter. Like irrespective of your technical proficiencies, the first round will be aptitude in most of the companies. I won't say that every company will be testing on aptitude, but more than 80% will have the first filter as aptitude. First, you clear this round, then only you will be able to showcase your other skills which you're gaining in other sessions.
So it is about the interview we are going to have after the course is completed or the interview which is coming next week for the Google search module.
Yeah, that you have to ask with your team, because your module, I'm not aware of the like exact kind of things. Aptitude is one criteria, so that is why I'm taking these sessions. But you have certain interview next week, next month, you that you have to check from your like academic team.
Uh, Sorry to interrupt, Nishan. Google search interview won't be having aptitude. This aptitude session that we are having at Rakshala, it would be only with respect to some companies who come in for interview and they have this criteria. Not all the companies have the same interview process, right?
As I mentioned
I
that
hope
most
it
of
has.
the as I mentioned that most of the companies have this. I didn't mention that all the companies have this filter, Most of the companies which have this filter, this will be the first round. And
Yeah.
only once you clear this, you'll be able to showcase other skills. I'm not talking in like general.
Yeah, yeah,
Most,
yeah, Ishan, I agreed with you. I was just giving this to Manya because
yeah, yeah,
she has, yeah, she doesn't have the clarity. That's right.
true, true, true. Yogesh, you were asking something? You had raised your
No,
hand.
no, that's fine.
Okay. Right. So we'll be starting with the first topic now. That is average. All right. As most of you know that how do we calculate average? Average is simply sum of observation upon number of observation. Average we also call it as mean. So average, mean, one and the same thing. You don't have to go into these things because it's an objective paper. For example, marks scored by Ajay in 5 subjects are mentioned as 80, 90, 60, 40, and 70. We have to find the average. We'll sum of observation upon number of observation. We will simply add all 5 of them. We will divide by 5. We'll get the average. Right? A very basic example. Now, in average, there can be certain attributes connected to them as well, which we generally call as weighted average. For example, the marks scored by the same person in 5 subjects are same, but now every subject has certain credits, or you can understand it in the terms of every subject has certain importance connected to it. So now eco, he scored 80, subject credits are 3. So mathematically, you can consider it as that eco will be considered as 3 subjects, or maths will be considered as 3. Accounts will be considered as 2, humanities 2, and Spanish 1. Now, if you have to find average, the logic remains the same. Sum of observation upon number of observation. So eco is 80, but it is counted as 3. So 80 into 3. Right. Similarly, maths 90. Again, subject credits are 3. So 90 into 3. Then accounts 60 into 2. Then humanities 40 into 2. Then Spanish is 70 into 1. So let's write 70 only. Total number of observations, as you can see, credits are 3 plus 3. You can write it down as well. So 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. You solve it, you'll get the average. So average, if we talk about what is the formula or how do we find it, it's simply sum of observation upon number of observation. Now, what is the meaning of the average? Because sometimes the questions can test you on the meaning of the average as well. So you people can write this down, because if anyone asks you what is average, most of the people say this thing only, that average is sum upon number, which is how we represent it. But the meaning of average, you all of you can write down that if all the things, I'll be giving an example as well, right? If all the things are distributed equally, if all the things are distributed equally, then each equal value, if all the things are distributed equally, then each equal value that one gets. If all the things are distributed equally, then each equal value that one gets is called average. Then each equal value that one gets is called average. For example, suppose let's say the average age of a certain batch is 23 years, right? So what does this mean? There can be one scenario in which every single individual, let's say the batch is of 10 students, right? Just for the sake of clarity. So one case can be ki each of these 10 students have the same age, 23 years each, right? There can be another scenario in which, let's say, 8 students have the exact age of 23 years. 9 student, the ninth one, has the age of 22 years. And the question might be asking you find the age of the 10th person. So 8 students have the age of 23 years. Ninth one has the age of 22 years. Now the average is 23. That means one person has reduced by one. So the 10th person has to compensate this loss of one. Are you getting it? So this 10th person will compensate this loss of one. So he has to be 24 years, right? So that the entire thing boils down to 23. So if you read the definition carefully, that is what I mentioned. That if all the things are distributed equally, then each equal value. So what we can say that this was 22, this was 24, average of these two will again be 23, right? Let's take one more example. Let's say there are five people with different amount of money. Suppose the first person has rupees 5, the second person has rupees 7, the third person has rupees 9, fourth has rupees 11, and the fifth person has rupees 13. We have to find the average. Now, one way is to just simply apply this. We can simply find the sum upon number. So 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13. That will give us 45. 45 upon 5, we got 9. Now, another way of looking at this same question is by focusing on the definition. If I distribute all the value equally, let's say if this person 11 rupees gives 2 rupees to this person. Now, this person gives 2 rupees to this person. 11 1 will become 9 rupees and his loss will be his gain. He will become 9 rupees again. Let's say the person with the highest amount, 13 rupees, donates 4 rupees to this person. Now he will be reduced to 9 rupees and he will gain 4 rupees, become 9. So all the things which belong to these five people are distributed equally. So the each equal value that we got is 9. So simply the average is 9, right? So generally people know how to find average, but they don't know the meaning of the average. So it is just about equal distribution of things. I hope it is clear. Let's do a question on this. Try this question once and answer in the chat box. All right, a couple of students have responded. Let's try this. So, the average salary of ABC is 40,000. So we know that average is sum upon number, right? Acha, this average is sum upon number. I can write it down in this way as well. Sum is average into number. Just cross multiply, right? Now, if I talk about these three people, average salary of ABC is 40,000. Now, sum is average into number. So three people, ABC. The sum will be A plus B plus C. Clear? Average into number. Average is given to me as 40,000 and number of people are 3. So this is my first equation. A plus B plus C is 120,000. I hope it is clear to everyone. Right.
Yes.
Now, similarly, I can frame two more equations with the data given to me. Now, second is average of CDE is 45,000. Same way, C plus D plus E. That is 45,000. Again, the number of people are 3 only. So 45,000 into 3. 43 is a 120, 5 3 is a 15. So that is 135,000. Clear? Now, find the salary of C if the average salary of 5 people is 43,000. Same way. Now there are 5 people. Their average is 43,000. Again, applying the same thing. Number of people are 5. So this gives me third equation. Now the question is asking me to find the salary of C. Now you observe these three questions minutely. This one has C, this one has C, this one has C. And I only need C. What I can do, how I can manipulate these three equations. If I add these two equations and if I subtract the last equation, I'll be only left with C, isn't it? See, A will be cancelled out. B is once, it will be cancelled out because I'm subtracting. D will cancel out. E will cancel out. 2C minus C. I'll be only left with C. So what I can do? I can add the first two equation and I can subtract the third equation and I'll be left with only C. So 120,000 plus 135,000 minus 215,000. So 120 plus 135, 255 minus 215. So I'm left with 40,000, which is my answer. Right? You people can note this down. If you have any doubt, let me know. Clear? Anyone has any doubt in any step?
No, all clear.
All right, let's move on to the next. Try this once. Now, this particular question is just checking your common sense, nothing else. So, such questions can be asked in your interviews as well. So, basically, average income of all the Infosys employees 20,000 per month. And recently, the company announced the increment of rupees 2,000. It's a very like, though I should say it as a property or not because it's common sense. Uh, it's a very common property of mathematics that if something happens to all the constituents, it will reflect in the average as well, right? For example, if I talk about three numbers, 3, 4, 5, it has average 4. Now, if I multiply each of these number by 2, so the average will also be multiplied by 2. You can like see it logically as well. So average income of all the Infosys employees 20,000 and every person has got the increment of 2,000. So the average will also be increased by 2,000. So 20,000 plus 2,000 is 22,000, right? So in the actual exam scenario, also keep in mind that whenever you get your aptitude test, don't start with the first question itself. Take a couple of minutes to scan through the paper and to see, because see, this was one question which took at least 1 minute, okay, and this was one question which took 5 seconds. So there is no point, you are getting the same marks for getting the correct answer. It's not like if you're taking more time it will be having more marks. So just take a couple of minutes to go through the entire paper and choose the questions that you're going to solve in the first go, then second go, then third go, because aptitude is always a test of skill, not a test of your knowledge. Right. I hope it is clear. So all of you were correct as far as this question goes. Those who responded. Try this. All right. Many people have responded with the correct answer. So, the average age of 29 students is 26, and it becomes 27 if we include the age of teacher. What is the exact age? So, we can go through this question in the same way as we did the first question. So, sum we all know, that is average into number. So, sum of 29 students. Now, average is 26 and number of students are 29, right? You can solve it, I think, 4, 5, 754. Now, it becomes 27 if we include the age of teacher also. So, sum of 29 students plus teacher. Average is 27 and the number of people are 30, right? 29 students and one teacher. So, this gives me 810. Now, exact age of teacher. So, if I subtract this equation from this, I'll left with teacher only. Clear? You can note this down. If you have any doubts, let me know. So there's just one logic and you just have to manipulate that particular thing. Cool. So these are the three different types of question that you can find in this topic. Let's move on to the next one. That is ratio. Now, first of all, what is ratio? You can write down. Ratio is the comparison of, ratio is the comparison of two or more similar quantities. Ratio is the comparison of two or more similar quantities. Right. Now it is just a comparison. For example, if I talk about two people, Rohit and Rahul, and let's say the ratio of their age is 7 is to 5. Now this ratio just tells me the comparison, right? From this particular data, I can only tell one thing, that Rohit is elder and Rahul is younger. That's it. I can never tell the exact ages of these two people. So this might seem very obvious to you कि यार ये तो हमें पता ही है, but when we will do the questions ना, you will not apply this particular concept. So ratio is just a comparison. Now what if I want to know the exact ages? From ratio I cannot. I need some extra information. For example, uh, if the question says that the ratio of their ages is 7 is to 5, and let's say Rahul's age is 40 years. Now tell me Rohit's age. Now I can find. So Rahul's age is 40 years. So 5 corresponds to 40. So 5 8s are 40. So similarly, 7 will correspond to 56. So if Rahul's age is 40, Rohit's age is 56. But just by ratio, I can never find. Right. Also, a simple thing I have written, that if it is A is to B, we can assume the terms to be AX and BX. So if the ratio is 7 is to 5, I can assume Rahul's age as 5x and Rohit's age as 7x. I can do it like this as well, that 5x is 40, x is 8. So Rohit's age will be 7 into 8, 56. So you can do mathematically as well, you can do logically as well. Okay, ratio seems very simple, but its application is very wide. So we will be covering 3-4 types of question which features in the exam. Okay, chalo, let's start. One question I'll be telling you how to go about it, and then you will be solving. Now, there's a mixture of 100 liter in which the ratio of milk and water is 3 is to 1. Now 200 liter of water is added. What is the new ratio of milk and water? Okay, so whatever we know, we just will be representing it mathematically. So there is a mixture of 100 liter and the ratio of milk and water is 3:1. Okay, so first let's find out the exact values of milk and water. So देखो milk को I can write 3x and water को I can write x by using this. So 3x and x is total 4x. And this 4x corresponds to 100 liter. That is what the question is telling me. Clear? So 4x is 100 liter. So x will be 100 upon 4, which is 25 liter. So I know that water is x, that is 25 liter, and milk is 3x, that is 25 into 3, 75 liter. I hope this is clear. वैसे you can do directly as well कि this is 1/4, this is 3/4. But I'm keeping in mind like the backgrounds of all of you. Some of you might be like not aware of these. So that is why I'm telling from very scratch. Okay. Now what is happening? 200 liter of water is added. That means milk is untouched. Milk 75 tha 75 ही है. Now water is 200 liter of water is added. Water was 25, 200 liter more is added. So now this ratio turns to 75 as it is, 200 plus 25, 225. ठीक है, I can simply cancel it out. 25 से कर दो या directly 75. So the final ratio of milk and water is 1:3. Clear? So that is how we go about. This is a very common question. One of the most favorite or most prevalent in the placement scenario. So you can note this down. So there are various quantities here: total mixture, ratio, what is added, and final ratio. So out of these four values, they can give you three and ask the fourth one. It can be any, right? Any doubts in any step in the approach, in the uh, step, you can let me know. ठीक है, चलो. Similar type of question you will attempt now. Try this. Three people have responded. All three are correct. Shruti, Aradhana, Sumit. Good. Yogesh, try again. Debrati, correct. Good. Raghavendra, correct. Nice. Chalo, let's start now. So this question is a replica of the previous one, which we solved. The only difference is, वहाँ पर it was given how much is added. You have to find ratio. यहाँ पर ratio is given. You have to find how much is added. So that is what I told you, that there are four quantities. Three will be given. Fourth you have to find. So we'll be employing the same process. Okay. So this one is the mixture, milk and water. 29x milk, 9x water. ठीक है, टोटल कितना है 190 लीटर. नाउ 29 plus 9, 38. So total is 38x, which is given to me as 190 liter. So from here we can find the value of x. 19 twos are, 19 tens are, 2 fives are. X की value is 5. So from here we understood how much was the quantity of water. 9 into 5, 45, and 29 into 5, 145. So originally milk was 145 liter and water was 45 liter. Now the question is asking how much more milk is to be added to get a new mixture containing milk and water in the ratio 4:1. तो देखो मिल्क को कितना ऐड किया वी डोंट नो. लेट्स से a quantity ऐड किया, right? I assume the value to be a. Let's keep water as same because water is unchanged and the final ratio is 4:1. Now you can simply cross multiply. A comes to be 35 liter. So we haven't digressed from the method that we employed in the previous one. It's the same thing. Clear? You can note this down. Right. Acha, isko we can solve using one more method. I won't force you to use your nerve cells a lot, but फिर भी discuss कर लेते हैं. Maybe some of you will get that approach, और हो सकता है काफी लोगों ने used it in the same way. There is one more way of looking at the same question. See, milk and water originally was 29:9, and milk and water finally is 4:1. Now the interesting thing here is only milk is added. That means water should be same, isn't it? Water was 9 parts initially. Water is 1 part now. So this shouldn't have happened. Water is 9 parts initially. Water should be 9 parts now as well because only milk is added. I hope you're getting the point. So to make this 9, I'll have to multiply this ratio by 9, isn't it? Now this becomes 36. 9 fours are 36 and 9 ones are 9. Now it seems logical that earlier the ratio was 29:9 and now the ratio is 36:9. Okay. Now 29 and 9, how much? 38 parts. 38 parts is equal to 190, the way we did it. So 1 part is equal to 5. X की value 5 थी. Now how much milk is added? 29 parts से 36 part. How much is added? 7 part. 1 part is 5. So 7 part will be 35. So you could have solved it directly as well. Okay, just by applying some logic, you could have solved it without using pen and paper. So this particular thing will not require it. So gradually अगर आप लोग थोड़ा सा observation power if you'll increase, so you'll think, you'll understand that these things are not that difficult. Clear? Some of you might have done it using the same logic. So there can be n number of ways of solving a question, but accuracy is the most important. Speed will take care of itself with practice. Right. I hope this method is also at least 50% clear. The first one should be crystal clear. So let's move on to the next. Try this one. All right. Some of you have got the answer and correct as well. So this is another type of ratio question, which is quite common. Again, there are n number of ways of solving it. I'll be telling you the easiest way. So A and B are two alloys. Alloys means mixture of metals of argentum and brass prepared by mixing metals in the proportion 7 is to 2 and 7 is to 11. So first one has mixture of 7 is to 2 and second one has the mixture of metals 7 is to 11. So from here I can see 7 is to 2. Matlab total 9 parts, 7 plus 2, and 7 is to 11. That means total 18 parts, right? So the first mixture has 9 parts and second mixture has 18 parts. But the question clearly says equal quantities of the two alloys are melted. So the keyword here is equal, but it is not equal. First one has 9 parts, second one has 18 parts. So the only thing which we have to do here is to make it equal. So 9 ko 18 we can simply make by multiplying it by 2. So 9 into 2, 18, 7 is to 2 into 2. So ये रेशो बन गया हमारा 7 2 जा 14 and 2 2 जा 4. 14 is to 4 is also effectively 7 is to 2 only, but the parts have changed. So now the quantity is equal. First mixture has 18 parts, second mixture has 18 parts. Now we just have to mix them linearly only. Okay. So the first one has 14. We have to find the ratio of argentum and brass. So argentum is 14 in first, 7 in second. 14 plus 7. 4 in first, 11 in second. 4 plus 11. So 14 plus 7, 21. 4 plus 11, 15. Lowest form, 7 is to 5. So in such questions, you don't have to do anything else. You just have to make the quantities equal and then calculate it manually, right? You can note this. So in exam, there can be n number of alloys, 3 alloys, 4 alloys. Just make all of them equal and then add the first part of each upon the second part of each, right? Let's do one more. This one is a sitter. All right, let's try. So this question shouldn't have taken more than 10 seconds, to be honest. Such question help you to uh, like get into the zone. So there are three numbers such that the first two are dependent on third, right? First by 25% less and second by 65% less. So why not assume third number to be something? मान लेते हैं third number is 100. First number is 25% less. So 100 का 25% less, 75. And second is 65% less. So 100 minus 65, that gives me 35. Now the question is asking me the ratio. So just the ratio, right? So whenever you see percentages, it is always advisable to assume certain values. So isko x मान के भी you can do, but 100, 1000, 500, these are better.
अगर एक्स एज्यूम करके करेंगे तो फिर कैसे होगा?
बताता हूँ. x से भी कर सकते हो. थर्ड को हमने मान लिया x. So first number 25% less है. So 25% of x कम है. That means x minus 25% of x. इसको लिख सकता हूँ मैं 75% of x. ठीक है. Similarly, second number is 65% less. That means x minus 65% of x. That is 35% of x. Percentage से percentage cancel, x से x cancel. 15:7. So this is the disadvantage with x, क्योंकि ultimately अगर उसको cancel ही होना था, so what is the point of using that? So इसीलिए 100 या 200, 500 मानना is better. But I hope you understood it. ठीक है.
थैंक यू.
I hope it is clear with everyone else too. Let's start with the next. Okay, let's try this. Uh, all of you are correct, those who have responded. Ratio of two numbers 5:8. So वही 5x and 8x. 9 is added to each of them and the ratio becomes 8:11. Pardon for my handwriting. Now cross multiply 55x plus 99, 64x plus 70. I hope I am doing it right mathematically. Now this is 9x is 27, x is 3. Question is asking me the smaller number. So smaller number कौन सा था? 5x. So 5 into x, 5 into 3, 50. Right? Some people can make this mistake. uh, यहाँ पर किसी ने नहीं करा, बट एग्जाम में व्हाट यू कैन डू कि 15 + 9 24. ठीक है, सो दे आर आस्किंग द स्मॉलर नंबर मीन्स ओरिजिनल नंबर. So if they're interested in this entire thing, they will ask to find the smaller of the two new numbers, something like that. ठीक है, smaller number is 15 and bigger number is 24 in this case. Again the same thing, अगर थोड़ा सा observe करते तो इस question को without using pen paper भी you can do it. See, a bit of observation. First ratio is 5:8. Second ratio is 8:11. इसमें भी 3 was added. इसमें भी 3 was added. But actual में 9 was added. So 3 corresponds to 9, 1 corresponds to 3, 5 corresponds to 15 directly. Are you getting it? So 3 parts are added on both the numbers. So 3 is actually 9. So 1 is actually 3, 5 is actually 15. But you might argue, कि sir, what if the increment is not same? So उस case में obviously पहले हमें either we have to make the increment same by multiplying them with LCM. In that case, the better method will be the one which I showed you. But exam में generally they keep the difference same because aptitude is always the rejection process. They know that n number of participants are giving it. We don't have that many seats. So to reject the masses, they will mostly give such numbers which have the same difference so that people can use certain logic. Okay, so gradually if you start observing things, you will understand that these things are not that difficult. Let's start with the next one. That is mixtures and alligation. Mixture alligation is actually a very important topic in general, or this topic tends to get very difficult as well. But placement ke point of view se this is very simple, right? So as of now, it is simple. So first, let me tell you ki what does these terms means. Alligation, what does this mean? So let's take a practical example. Suppose you went to a shop to buy milk, okay, and the shopkeeper showed you two varieties. One is 10 rupees per liter and one is 20 rupees per liter. Okay, you went to a shop to buy milk. Shopkeeper has two varieties, 10 rupees per liter and 20 rupees per liter. Now, 10 rupees per liter, you thought ki it's very cheap, so the quality will not be up to the mark. 20 rupees is not your budget. So ideally, what you will do, obviously, you will ask for the third variety. Now, the shopkeeper doesn't have any third variety, but he won't let you go. What he will do in an actual scenario, he will take some part from this, some part from this, and will make a third variety. Okay? He did the same thing. He took some from this, made a third variety, and let's say he told you that that is 16 rupees per liter. You were satisfied, you opted for this, you went home. Now, after reaching home, you are wondering, yaar, I want to know how much of this and how much of this were mixed to get 16 rupees per liter. So is it possible to know? It is very much possible using mixture and allocation. So kaise you can find ki how much of this and how much of this? You can never tell the exact value, but you can definitely tell the ratio. So what you will do, dekho, 10 rupees per liter here, 20 rupees per liter here, mixture is here. 20 minus 16, observe this carefully. You will subtract these two values. 20 minus 16, that is 4. You will write it here, diagonally. Okay. Similarly, 16 minus 10, which is 6, diagonally, like this. So the ratio of these two varieties, 4:6, या फिर simplest form में I can say 2:3. What does this mean? कि to make this mixture, two parts of this quantity or this variety and three parts of this variety is taken to form this. This entire diagonal operation is known as rule of alligation. ठीक है, एक बार repeat कर रहा हूँ. So 10 rupees per liter first, 20 rupees per liter second, 16 rupees per liter mixture. You want to know what is the ratio of the two varieties? 20 minus 16 right here, which is 4, 16 minus 10, 6. Then you will convert that into lowest form. That is 2 is to 3. Matlab 2 parts this one and 3 parts this one is taken to get the final mixture. Right? This is mixture and this mathematical operation is alligation. Clear? तो इसी टाइप का क्वेश्चन दे आस्क यू इन द एग्जाम एज वेल. जैसे you can see one on the screen. You can find and tell me the answer in the chat. Again, there are four quantities. This is first, this is second, this is third, and the ratio is fourth. Any three will be given to you. You have to find the fourth one. Same thing. Price of kerosene and petrol is given. You have to find the ratio. So 88 यहाँ पर, 95 and 90 here. Just subtract 95 minus 95, 90 minus 88. So the ratio is 5 is to. Some people get confused ki, because in some books also this is incorrectly mentioned that you have to start with cheaper and यहाँ पर you have to mention the more expensive one, which is not the case. You have to go according to the language of the question. अगर इस क्वेश्चन में लिखा होता price of kerosene and petrol is 95 and 88, so I would have written 95 first, 88 बाद में. ठीक है? So there is no rule कि you have to write the cheaper one first and expensive one later on. It's not like that. Clear? Let's move on to the next topic. If you people want to have a couple of minutes break, let me know. Else, let me continue. Do you want a break or something?
No, Ishan, we are good.
ठीक है.
We'll finish up.
Okay, okay. Let's start with percentage. Now, percentage is the backbone of entire quant. So whichever topics we are going to do after percentage will be dependent on percentage. Okay, so this topic should be very strong. So percentage means cent means 100. So anything which is on the base of 100 becomes a percentage. What do I mean by this? For example, if I write 24 upon 100. Now 24 is on the base of 100. So this is 24%. Okay, 75 upon 100. This is 75%. Clear? 3 upon 5. This is not 3% because this is not on the base of 100. What I can do? Either I can make this 100, 5 को 100 बनाने के लिए I can multiply by 20. Right? So 60 by 100, which is 60%. या मैं इसको directly भी I can find 3 upon 5 into 100. This directly gives me 60%. So anything on the base of 100 becomes a percentage. ठीक है? From this, I also can observe one thing. Fraction को percentage में, if I want to convert, I will simply multiply by 100. Percentage back to fraction, I'll divide by 100. That is what I did. Fraction को percentage, I multiplied by 100. Isn't it? Fraction को percentage multiplied by 100. Same thing here. 23%. Percentage into fraction, 23 by 100. Clear? So this is the most basic thing you all must be knowing. Now, exam में generally what they do, sometimes they ask you very simple question, but they are speed breakers. They take a lots of time. For example, जैसे मैं आप लोगों से, let's say if I ask 3 questions to you, find 25% of 48, find 6.25% of 16,000. I'm giving random questions, ठीक है? And find 7.69% of 78. These are actual questions, similar type. What will happen? First question, everyone will solve in 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Why? Because everyone knows that 25% is 1/4. We are very familiar with this term. And 1/4 into 48 is 12. Right? When you will go to the second question, then 6.25% maximum ko they won't be knowing ki what is the reciprocal equivalent. So what they will do, generally people will do like this. 0.25 में से decimal उड़ा दिया, 2 0 लगा दिए, percentage के 2 0 और लगा दिए. Then they will cancel these things, will cancel by 5, this, that, 25 and all. They will get the answer, but took more time than the first one. Isn't it? As you reach the third question, you will neither be able to apply the first logic and nor the second one. Because 7.69 fraction में कितना होता है? Hardly anyone knows. If I try to cancel it, I'll not be able to cancel it as well. Because maximum what I can do, 2 3s are 6, 2 9s are 18. That's it. 2 से cancel होने के बाद cancel ही नहीं हो रहा है. Now I'll have to multiply this by this number, then divide by 50,000. It will take a lots of time. Not 50,000, sorry, 5,000. So this is the issue ki as the question is getting difficult, the solution is also getting difficult. But if I knew that, suppose, just like the first one, if I knew that 6.25 is nothing but 1 by 16, I would have got this answer in the same time. If I knew 7.69 is 1 by 13, I would have got the answer. Right. So there are certain fraction to percentage equivalent that you should know by heart because they are very prevalent. They'll be asking you again and again. 6.25, favorite value of the paper setter. 7.69, very common as well. So there are certain values that I am telling you. ये पूरी table तो I won't ask you, but 1 by 15 तक you should remember. Right. इसका एक तरीका भी बताता हूँ मैं आपको. How to remember these values. This will be used in every single topic. इसके बिना भी you can do the question, but time taken will be huge and you don't have the leverage of time. So 1 by 1 से 1 by 5 तो all of us know. 1 by 1 100%, half 50%, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5. I think most of you will be knowing. ठीक है, अब देखो 1/6 कैसे याद कर सकते हो? 1 by 6 is 1 by 3 का half. If I divide 1 by 3 by 2, I'll get 1 by 6. Are you getting it? 1 by 3 divided by 2. 1 by 6. So 33.33 ka half, 16.66. Similarly, 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is 1 by 4 ka half, 25 ka half, 12.5. ठीक है, 1 by 12, 1 by 6 का half, 16 का half, 8, 66 का half, 33. तो most of the values you can remember like this. अब जैसे कुछ values are left, 1 by 7, 1 by 14, 1 by 9, 1 by 11. अब इनको मैंने कैसे याद किया था अपने टाइम पे? Like being an engineer, I just applied some जुगाड़. You can also apply the same or you can devise your own method. At the end of the day, you should remember. तो मैंने कैसे याद किया था? देखो 7 and 14 are couple. 7 and 14 are pair. Denominator में 7, table is of 14. 14 ones are 14, 14 twos are 28. 7 में 14 की टेबल, 14 में 7 की टेबल. राइट. डिनोमिनेटर में 7, 14 ones are 14, 14 twos are 28. Denominator में 14, 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14. So 7 and 14 I'll always remember. Similarly, 9 and 11. 9, 11. Something happened on this date, the Twin Tower attack. So I remembered it using that analogy. Denominator में 9, table is of 11. Both sides. 11 ones are 11, 11 ones are 11. Denominator में 11, table is of 9. 9 ones are 9, 9 ones are 9. ठीक है? So this is how you can do it. You can make your own method, but 15 fractions you should know. अच्छा, you might be wondering कि ऐसा जरूरी थोड़ी है कि we will be asking only these 15 fractions. They can ask us any question. So by remembering these 15 fractions, you will be taking care of like thousands of fractions. जैसे, let me give you an example. देखो, let's say उन्होंने आपसे एग्जाम में पूछा, आई एम गिविंग यू अ एक्चुअल क्वेश्चन. A couple of years ago they asked something like this, कि find 77.77% of 63. ठीक है, find 77.77% of 63. Now you might be wondering कि यार यहाँ पर कहीं 77.77 तो है नहीं, तो I'll have to do it in this fashion only. और 63 कैंसिल भी नहीं होता है, 2 की टेबल में आता नहीं है. सो दिस इज माई टोटल लॉस. आई हैव टू मल्टीप्लाई सच अ ह्यूज नंबर. सो ये तो गलत हो गया. बट नहीं, इफ यू अप्लाई योर basic mind, if you use some common sense, so you'll be able to see through the things that 77.77 is there indirectly. See, I told you 1 by 9 is 11.11. If you observe this carefully, isn't it 7 times of this? If I multiply this by 7, it will become 77.77, right? So 1 by 9 into 7 is 7 by 9. 7 by 9 of 63. 9 sevens are 63, 7 sevens are 49. I got the answer. Okay, so you just have to manipulate the values, the percentage values, the fraction values a bit. This will come with practice only. So it's not like in just a day you'll be able to get it. But one thing for sure, by knowing these 15 values, you will be able to solve many values. जैसे suppose they ask you find 28.56% of, let's say, 21. 28.56% of 21. Again you might be thinking कि यार ये value तो है नहीं, but 14.28 is 1 by 7. If I observe, 28.56 is double of this, so 2 by 7. So 2 by 7 of 21. 7 threes are 21, 3 twos are 6. ठीक है? So 14.28, 28.56, 42.84, multiples of these. Similarly, 11.11, 1 by 9, 22.22, 2 by 9, 33.33, 3 by 9, and so on. Right? Chalo, let's. So these are certain questions that are asked in percentages. Percentage ke direct question usually come very less, very few in number, but percentage is a very important in another like profit and loss and all those topics. So let's start with profit and loss. So profit and loss is just an extension of percentage. There are certain terms you should know. One is CP. CP is your cost price. What is cost price? The price at which an article is bought. So the price at which an article is bought is cost price, and the price at which an article is sold is your selling price. Profit and loss is the most important topic in quant. Maximum question generally सीधे आते हैं. Profit and loss, time, speed, distance, time and work. These three topics. Now, CP is cost price, SP is selling price. If your selling price is greater than cost price, that means you are incurring a profit. So profit is nothing but SP minus CP, and loss is nothing but CP minus SP. ठीक है, ये सब आई थिंक यू मस्ट बी नोइंग ऑलरेडी. प्रॉफिट परसेंट. प्रॉफिट परसेंट निकालते हैं, प्रॉफिट अपॉन सीपी इनटू 100. इनटू 100 क्यों कर रहे हैं? फ्रैक्शन टू परसेंटेज कन्वर्जन. I told you whenever you have to convert a fraction into percentage, you will multiply by 100, right? So profit percent is profit upon CP into 100, and loss percent is loss upon CP. You can note these things down. Profit SP minus CP, loss CP minus SP. Profit percent, profit upon CP into 100, loss percent, loss upon CP into 100. Profit ko we also call gain. So profit or gain. Right. Uh, Beside this, there are two more things that you should know. I'm telling you only those things which are asked in the exam, not covering this entire topic from scratch, because profit and loss, it's a huge unit. But जितना relevant है, जितना exam में आता है, I'm telling you only that. ठीक है. So दो चीजें और ध्यान रखना है. SP equal to इसके application भी I'll tell you. Just write it down as of now. So SP is CP into 100 plus profit percent upon 100, and SP is CP into 100 minus loss percent upon 100. So either of this, if it is a profit case, first one, if it is a loss case, second one. जैसे suppose exam में they asked you कि a particular product is bought at 200 rupees, ठीक है, and at a profit of 10%. You have to find SP. So directly you can apply the first one. CP is 200, 100 plus 10%, 110 upon 100. So you'll directly get the answer as 220. Clear? So these two are very important because most of the question will be revolving around these two only. CP into 100 plus P, CP into 100 minus N. Right? Beside these things, we have some more quantities in profit and loss. That is your MP. MP means marked price, जो printed होती है. So MP को we call MP or MRP or list price. All three are the name of the same term. Marked price, maximum retail price, or list price. Suppose 10 rupees is printed on a product, and you are paying 9 rupees for it. Okay, 10 rupees is printed and you are paying 9 rupees. That means ये 1 rupee का जो difference आया, what is this? This is discount. ठीक है. So कुछ भी रटना नहीं है, you can just visualize the scenario and you will be able to find out कि discount निकलता कैसे. So discount is nothing but MP minus SP. 10 rupees printed, 9 rupees you are paying. That means shopkeeper is giving you 1 rupee discount. Discount percentage can be found by discount upon MP into 100. So discount percentage is discount upon MP into 100. Right? Now, just like how we connected profit percent and loss percent with SP, we will connect discount percent as well. So SP can also be written as MP into 100 minus discount percent upon 100. तो देखो SP को we can find using all the percentages. SP was CP into 100 plus P. SP was CP into 100 minus L. And SP is MP into 100 minus D. तो जहां भी percentage आ रहा है, we can, like what we learn from this, we have SP in case. Because shopkeeper के point of view से cost price and selling price are related. And customer के point of view से mark price and selling price are related, isn't it? So selling price is a middle term. You can reach it through cost price as well. You can reach it through mark price as well. So this is the basic of profit and loss. Let's do a couple of questions. Try this. Okay, so a couple of students have answered and both are correct. Let's start. If a shopkeeper wants to sell a product at a discount of 12.5 and wants the profit to be 20%, cost price is 210. What will be the mark price? So this is a very important question because this question has given you discount percent, given you profit percent, cost price, MP pucha hai. So that means all the prices, all the percentages are used at once. So which makes this question quite important. Now what we can do is SP is equal to CP into 100 plus P. That is what we learned. And we also learned that SP is equal to MP into 100 minus discount percent. Isn't it? Both are SP. So we can use this equation. 100 से 100 cancel. CP is given to me 210. 100 plus P. P कितना है 20%. So 100 plus 20%, 120%. MP I have to find 100 minus discount. 100 minus 12.5, that is 87.5. 87.5 को I can write like this just for the ease of calculation, right? So MP can directly be found. So let's cancel it out. 5 2s are 10, 5 1s are 5, 7s are 35, 25. Then you can cancel this. 5 2s are 10, 24, 5 3s are 15, 5 5s are 5 7s are, and this is 7 6 are 42. 6 2s are 12, 24 12s are 280. So as I told you that most of the questions will be around this only. So this kind of question has featured in like almost every year aptitude based exam, because paper setter also want to reduce his effort. So he will always give such questions which will test all the concepts. So this question tests all your concepts of profit and loss. Right. Let's do one more. Try this. All right, let's try. So Pepsi and Coke, there are two companies selling the packs of cold drinks for the same SP. Pepsi gives two discount, two successive discount, and Coke also gives two successive. What is the ratio? Pretty interesting question. So the SPs are same. So SP of Pepsi is equal to SP of Coke, right? So the same logic will be extended because earlier it was one MP, earlier it was one discount. Now there are multiple discount. Same thing will be extended. So SP is MP into 100 minus discount percent. This was in the actual scenario. Now there are two discount. So I can mention it as discount 1 and this as discount 2. Right. This is for Pepsi. Same thing for Coke. Discount 1 and discount 2. All the values are given, you just have to note down. So MP of Pepsi will remain as it is. Pepsi का डिस्काउंट देखते हैं 10%. 100 minus 10 90. 100 तो सब कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. So let's don't focus on that. And 100 minus 25 75. Similarly MP of Coke. Coke का डिस्काउंट 100 minus 15 85. And 100 minus 20 80. We have to find the ratio of their mark price. So MP of Pepsi upon MP of Coke. So इसको solve कर लेते हैं. 0 से 0 cancel. 5 17s are 5 15s are 17 8s are 136. 15 9s are 135. So as you can see again, on the same logic the question was based. So as I told you, SP का जो relation है with profit percent, loss percent, discount percent, that is what they'll be asking you in the exam. So both these questions captured the essence of this topic. Right? Any doubts? If you have, let me know. All right. Let's start with the next and the last topic of today's session, which is simple interest, compound interest. So, see, when we used to do this topic in school, simple interest never posed any threat because, as the name suggests, it was very simple. Compound interest में there is a problem. अभी हम लोग discuss करेंगे compound interest का formula, and that formula is very problematic because that formula has some power, and if some formula has a certain power, if that power goes beyond 3, it becomes difficult. मतलब what do I mean? People know a plus b का whole square, people know a plus b का whole cube, but people don't know a plus b का whole power 6, whole power 7, something like that, isn't it? So compound interest में थोड़ी problem है. We will make it very simple now, and simple interest was simple earlier as well. So the major reason why compound interest is a bit trickier is due to that formula. So हम लोग उस formula को ही हटा देंगे. We will solve this topic logically. ठीक है? So first let's understand the difference between these two terms and the meaning of the term interest. So let's say you have two friends, A and another friend B. A is giving you simple interest, B is giving you compound interest. ठीक है? Let's say you want to borrow 100 rupees from both your friends. Both your friends are giving you this 100 rupees at 10% per annum for 2 years. ठीक है? Now you want to know कि in which case you have to like return lesser amount. ठीक है? So let's see. 100 rupees you have borrowed from friend A, 100 rupees you have borrowed from friend B. जो हम borrow करते हैं that is known as principal. This is simple principal. This is rate. I think needless to tell. This is time. ठीक है? Borrow करते हैं, lend करते हैं, that is your principal. Now, what will happen in the case of simple interest? You borrowed 100 rupees, or let's say 1000 लिखा है तो 1000 ही रख लेते हैं, just to say. Now 10% in the first year, 10% in the second year, and there are three tables, so let's make it 3 years. 10% in the third year. Now what will happen in the case of simple interest? 10% of 1000 is 100 rupees. So first year में you will pay 100 extra, second year में you will pay 100 extra, third year में you will pay 100 extra. So in total you will pay 300 extra. So first case में how much will you return? 1000 जो आपने लिया था plus 300, that is 1300. First case में you will return your friend 1300 after 3 years. This final value is known as amount. This final value is your amount. अमाउंट की बात हो गई, प्रिंसिपल हो गया, रेट हो गया, टाइम हो गया, पढ़ रहे हैं हम इंटरेस्ट, इंटरेस्ट की तो बात ही नहीं आई. सो व्हाट इज इंटरेस्ट? दिस एक्स्ट्रा वैल्यू. ठीक है, दिस इज योर इंटरेस्ट. इन दिस केस सिंपल इंटरेस्ट. तो सिंपल इंटरेस्ट का मीनिंग क्या है? यू आर गेटिंग द सेम वैल्यू ऑन द सेम परसेंटेज, जो टोटल मिलाकर यू आर पेइंग एक्स्ट्रा, दैट इज योर सिंपल इंटरेस्ट. 1000 रुपीज बोरो किए थे, 10 10 10%, 100 100 100, 300 rupees extra you gave, and you had to return 1300 rupees. ठीक है. Compound interest में what will happen? 10% extra you gave in the first year, so 1000 बन गया 100 rupees first year में, तो extra इतना ही था. Now for the second year your friend will assume कि you borrowed 1100 instead of 1000. And what is his line of thought? The reasoning is कि एक साल बाद जो आपने लिया था उसकी वैल्यू भी तो इंक्रीज हो गई है. यू took 1000 rupees from that friend, but after 1 year, due to inflation on n number of things, it has become 1100. So that is what happens in compound interest. तो जब अगले साल का लगेगा तो ये 100 तो लगेगा ही, प्लस इस 100 का 10% भी लगेगा. सो 100 का 10% इज 10 rupees. दैट मीन्स सेकेंड ईयर में यू हैव टू पे 110 एक्स्ट्रा. थर्ड ईयर में 110 तो लगेगा ही, प्लस 10% ऑफ दिस 110, विच इज 11 rupees. सो इंटरेस्ट पर इंटरेस्ट लग रहा है, दैट इज वाई इट इज नोन एज कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट, इंटरेस्ट ऑन इंटरेस्ट. So sometimes they ask you in the interview as well कि why compound interest is known so or called so. What is being compounded? So interest on interest. ठीक है. So first year में 100 extra, second year में 110 extra, third year में 121 extra. So overall कितना हो गया आपका? 100 100 100 300 331. So compound interest के केस में you have to pay 331 extra, and amount कितनी हो जाएगी? 1331. Right? So if you go by this example, by this logic, you can see that there is no formula required as such. You just have to remember this thing कि simple interest के case में every year the amount remained the same, the value remained the same, 100 100 100. But in the case of compound interest, first year में same 100, second year में 100 का 10%, 110, थर्ड ईयर में 110 का 10%, फोर्थ ईयर होता तो 121 प्लस इसका 10%. So the value will keep on changing. Right? So this is pretty much about simple and compound interest. How do they work and what are the values? ठीक है, just for the sake of knowledge, I can tell you the formulas as well. So simple interest के लिए, though we don't require it as such, simple interest का formula तो it's not a formula, it's simple logic. Compound interest में that is what we use. Right? जहाँ P है principal, R है rate, N is number of years, and A is amount. So इस वाले formula में there is an issue, because if it goes beyond 3 years, it will become difficult. But अगर हम ऐसे करें 100 110 121, then it becomes easy. All right, let's do a couple of questions. Try this one. Okay, so many people have responded correctly. Let's start. So sum of rupees 2500 is lent in two parts, one at 12% and another at 12.5. If nothing is mentioned, then it becomes by default a simple interest question, right? So you might be wondering it's simple or compound. Nothing is mentioned, so it's simple interest. If total annual income is 306, the money lent at 12%. तो देखो वन इज अ वेरी डायरेक्ट मेथड जो मोस्ट ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव एम्प्लॉयड कि मनी लेंट है 12% को एक्स या पी मान लिया सो रिमेनिंग विल बी 2500 माइनस पी है ना रेट इज गिवन टू मी 12% टाइम इज 1 year rate is given to me 12.5% time is 1 year and total is given to me as 306 ठीक है वन इक्वेशन वन वेरिएबल यू कैन सॉल्व इट तो इस तरीके से तो एनी वन कैन डू एंड यू विल गेट द आंसर एज वेल एक और तरीका विच आई वॉन्ट टू डिस्कस जिससे क्वेश्चन थोड़ा इजी हो जाता एंड दैट इज अ गुड वे एज वेल मतलब टाइम टेकिंग कम हो जाता सो वॉट यू कैन डू इज वन इज 12% वन इज 12.5% एंड ओवरऑल इनकम दी हुई है 306 सो अगर 306 को इफ आई डिवाइड बाई 2500 एंड आई कन्वर्ट दिस फ्रैक्शन इनटू परसेंटेज ये ओवरऑल परसेंटेज हो गई 12% वन 12.5% अनदर एंड मिक्सचर की परसेंटेज ये हो गई सो doesn't it become like a mixture allegation question isn't it so this is 12.24% 12% on one amount 12.5% on another amount and 12.24% on the entire amount so you can solve this by using allegation as well that is why I told you that allegation is a very strong tool जहां भी mixture you spot you can apply this तो इसको भी इससे भी कर सकते हैं 12.5 minus 12.24 0.26 and 12.24 minus 12 0.24 पॉइंट से पॉइंट कैंसिल हो जाएगा 26:24 which is 13:12 so the final ratio is 13:12 the amount was 2500 that means this must be 1300 and this must be 1200 question is asking me money lent at 12% which is 1300 सो इसको इस वाले वे में व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज मुझे कैलकुलेशन नहीं करनी पड़ी कुछ भी ठीक है गॉट द आंसर इन हार्डली 20-30 सेकेंड जबकि उस तरीके से आई वुड हैव डन PRT अपॉन 100 आंसर उससे भी आई कैन गेट बट इट विल टेक मोर देन अ मिनट सो जस्ट टू गेट थिंग्स इनटू पर्सपेक्टिव this is one more way generally people think that mixture is only of liquids milk and water but mixture is everything if you're covering a journey it is a mixture because that journey is covered with different speeds a class is a mixture of boys and girls an examination is a mixture of positive marks and negative marks isn't it so wherever you spot a mixture you can apply this yes Sahil
Hi, Ishan.
yes
So,
hi Sahil
can you explain this once again?
ha sure so what I did was one was 12% one was 12.5 these two are given to me the overall income is 306 so this 306 I am getting on the base of 2500 and this fraction can be converted into percentage as well by multiplying it by 100 so from this I am getting 12.24% so what does this mean कि एक जगह I'm getting a profit of 12% the other way or from the other scheme I'm getting a profit of 12.5% and overall I'm getting a income or a profit of 12.24%. So this is a classical case of mixture. I can subtract as I did with that 12.5 minus 12.24 0.26 and 12.24 minus 12 0.24. So the ratio that I got was 0.26 upon 0.24 or I can simply write it as 13:12. Right. 13 plus 12 is 25 parts and this 25 parts is equal to 2500. That means 13 is equal to 1300 and 12 is equal to 1200. question is asking me money lent at 12%. So 12% is this, which is 1300, which is my answer. Understood now?
Yeah, got it.
Ruti, you also had the same doubt. You got it now? Okay. So I hope it is clear to everyone. So that is the reason I included this question, because everyone can do it by PRT upon 100, but just to show you another way. Right, let's do one more and then we'll wrap up the session. Try this. All right, few people have answered correctly. Let's try. Now, the compound interest on a certain sum at a certain rate for second and third year is this and this. What is the rate of interest? Now, if I look at this question mathematically, it becomes difficult because the question is not telling me for 2 years and 3 years. It is telling me for second and third year. So this becomes very tricky because just for second year, just for third year, I don't have any direct formula. I have formula for cumulative, and that is also pretty tricky as we discussed earlier. But if I look at this question practically, logically, what I have to find, I just have to find rate. I already know that anything extra gives me interest, right? Anything extra tells me interest. Whether it's simple or compound, that's a different story. But anything in excess tells me interest. The question is asking me rate of interest. So anything extra upon original into 100 will tell me rate of interest as well, isn't it? So if I can somehow find the extra amount upon original into 100, I'll be finding the rate as well. That is what we have to do here. Second year में I have to pay 21780 extra. Third year में I have to pay 23958 compound interest. So how much extra I have to pay? This minus this, which gives me 2178. So interest कितना है मेरा? Effectively 2178. Originally कितना था? 21780 into 100. So this gives me 10%. So directly without using pen and paper, you can get the answer. Right? So this is how aptitude or quant in general is different from maths. Maths is done by formula. Aptitude will be is a test of your logic and all those things. Right? So this is all about today's session. Thanks for being patient. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Shan.
Thank you. Bye.